time now to go inside the Star as we get you ready for the Dallas Cowboys and what is the latest. Chris Arnold, when we talk Dallas Cowboys, and anytime there might be some interest in anybody, what did you say to me in the break? It's like,
guess what? So-and-so has bought a house in DFW. Squirrel. The Cowboy fans go absolutely nuts. Media have to react because they got to say, wait a minute, it might be something to do this. I want to make sure I'm in the loop. And all of a sudden, it goes viral for maybe the right reason or wrong reason. You never know.
So the latest, the ESPN's Jeremy Fowler talking about potential trade targets for a very, very talented cornerback, 3-time All-Pro, Jalen Ramsey, who has been linked to some trade rumors and likely won't stay in Miami where he currently is.
After June 1st, he's gone.
That's right. And so some potential suitors. That's what we love. And this time of year with the semantics of it.
Team building is a sport. I've always said this. That is why the NFL is a 24/7, 365 league. And I was like telling Fred over and over again, and he agrees with me, there's no bandwidth for a spring football league. Even though there might be some talent there, you just can't keep up with all that stuff. You got the combine, you got free agency, you got the draft, you got the OTAs, you got the mini camps, you got training camp and the season. And there are people who don't even care about the season as much as the team building itself.
Right, they just want to talk about. They want to talk about the draft. They want to talk about the moving parts.
Trades. Again, team building is a sport. So with that being said, we're at the phase right now where, like Jalen Ramsey, could he possibly be a Cowboy? Well, let me tell you why there's some hints. It's a long shot, and I don't think it probably will happen, but there's some hints. The hints are this. Yep, the Rams would love to have him back. He won a ring with them, and we know the guy. We love the guy. We'd love to have him back. Then they talk about, Jeremy mentioned like Washington. He also mentioned, I want to say, the Giants. But the bottom line is he's talking about the NFC East, and he throws in the Cowboys. And someone actually said, I'm not making this up, he said, we've got reports that Jalen Ramsey has bought a house in DFW. Doesn't mean he's going to play for the Cowboys, but he's bought a home here. And, of course, the spidey senses go off with everybody because Derrick Henry bought a house down here, but Derrick Henry at that time wasn't looking to play for the Cowboys. His wife's family is from here, and so they bought a house here. But he was here the time that they could have got him. Jalen Ramsey, the reason, the other connection of the dots, I don't know if you heard this story or not. Draft day. The Cowboys actually had a lot of interest in Jalen Ramsey and Ezekiel Elliott. And Jalen Ramsey loved the Cowboys. Grew up loving the Cowboys. And he tells this story, I forget what sports show on ESPN or something. He's telling a story about draft day. He's up there at the draft with Zeke. They're sitting side by side. The cameras are on both of them. And when the Cowboys make the pick, and he loves the Cowboys, they pick Zeke. And all the cameras just shifted in front of Zeke. And there was nobody in front of him. He said, I'll never forget that as long as I live. And by the way, he was saying a year after that, he'll never play for the Cowboys as long as the Joneses own the team because he was mad at them for not picking him. So, of course, that's emotion. He's already got a Super Bowl ring by now. He's a veteran. He fits in an Eberflus system. That's why fans are like, maybe. But maybe not.
Jalen Ramsey's, important to point out, 30 years old, so certainly nearing, I don't want to say the back nine of his career, but an experienced veteran, like you said, but played in all 17 games last season for the Miami Dolphins. And statistically speaking, I think he's always been a guy that quarterbacks in the opposing offense just avoid. You know, he can be the guy that takes out a receiver.
Like a shutdown.
Correct. So last season.
And he also could play safety.
Yeah, he tallied 60 tackles, 11 pass defended, and 2 interceptions. So
the other reason why you like him is because you don't know the health of the other corners. You don't know how healthy DaRon Bland is. You definitely do not. Well, DaRon Bland should be healthy. You don't know if Trayvon Diggs is going to be back before halfway through the season. And the rookie you just drafted, you don't know when he's coming back.
Yep, Ravel returning from a torn ACL of his own. It would be a huge move. Which, by the way, the offseason has been what was the what was the go-to? Selectively aggressive. I think with the offseason,
Stevenson,
been selectively aggressive when you talk about bringing in George Pickens. And,
that was a trade. And so they said, wait a minute, they're open for business, unlike last year.
Right. That's right, but that'll be interesting to see. However, CA, we've got some of the absolute best right here in our own building that have a pulse on the Dallas Cowboys like no other. You got Bobby Belt, the insider.
Sources.
You got Brian Broaddus, who Broaddus tweeted this out yesterday. I think it's important to put a little context behind it. His tweet saying, hearing late last night that the Jalen Ramsey news was not accurate, according to a couple of folks I got to talk to. Don't think I was getting steered the wrong way. So
here's the deal about that. And Broaddus is exactly right. Cowboys do not mind rumors, though. That keeps their name. Jerry always put it like this. He said, you want to be relevant. This is before viral came out. Back in the 20th century, you got to stay relevant. So they don't mind rumors. The one thing about it is they don't want to pay him his money. And here's the breakdown on his salary. He's due $1.1 million something for this upcoming season. But then it balloons because he got 2 more years left to like $10 million and then $20 million. So those are those last 3 years. And Miami's trying to ditch him after June 1st because of the June 1st deadline. They don't have to pay all that money. They want Miami to eat some of the contract, though. I'm talking about the other teams that are interested. Miami's like, I don't know about all that. I think personally he's going to wind up with the Rams.
Yeah, the Rams make a lot of sense. And the Rams have always been that team that say F those picks. And
they did it when they got him.
Right.
First time with him and Von Miller. Look, they got the Super Bowl rings. This is the way I love the way they
Stafford
do.
as well.
Yeah, but Matthew Stafford, he's still there. I'm just saying Von Miller, Jalen Ramsey, and even OBJ. Thank y'all for coming. You got your rings. Bye. And we keep moving. And everybody's happy. Fans are happy. Management's happy. Players are happy. I'm talking about the ones who got their rings. So that's why it just drives me crazy the way Steven drags his feet. Jerry used to be that way. He used to be the swashbuckler, the old man, the wildcatter that was aggressive. But Steven's been like, tweak here. What'd you say? Selectively
aggressive. And keep us guessing and keep the Cowboys relevant, like you said. So I think as we sit here on Memorial Day on May 26th, if I had, what do they always say, gun to your head, what would you say? I don't anticipate Jalen Ramsey being a Dallas Cowboy.
Nope. Rams. I could see him being a Ram.
However, that would be better than him ending up in the division because...
No, you don't want him with Dan Quinn in Washington. You don't want him with the Giants. You don't want him with Philadelphia. Just keep him out of there. And one other note about him, nobody calls him his nickname anymore. Remember, he used to be the sass guy.
Yeah.
He's always saying something sassy.
That's right. He did have some... He would put a lot of thought.
Child, please. Almost like Ocho Cinco.
Right. And in his post-game pressers and that sort of thing. He also, and this has very little to do with the play on the field, but it just popped into my head. He wears like the turtleneck and the long sleeves and he looks like he's just got way too much. Whether it's a warm game or a cold game, his whole body's covered now when he's out there. The long socks, the long turtleneck.
It's so crazy because he grew up in Florida and he plays in Florida right now, and he was playing in LA. It wasn't like he's been on a cold climate.
Right.
He wasn't playing for the Vikings.